Hi everyone, welcome back to Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with a quick reaction video, really, just about a former Newcastle United player finding a new home. I just thought I'd jump on there because I've always been a big fan of this kid and I really feel bad about what happened to him at Newcastle United. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a quick reaction video on this one, and we'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below about this. We had a great reaction to our video about the supposed news that Paul Dummett was leaving the club after so long, and really good reaction from a lot of the fans about a local lad and how well he's done for the club. And this video is about another local lad. That's this lad here. No, it's not Andy Carroll. There's two local lads in that picture. I'm talking about Matty Longstaff, of course. Now, Matty Longstaff burst onto the scene, to use Michael Richards' words there, when Steve Bruce, probably the best thing he did as Newcastle manager was give him his debut against Manchester United, and he was absolutely brilliant in that game. Go back and watch those highlights, those clips. I know Manchester United were having some real problems, but Matty scored that brilliant goal set up by, was it Jethro Williams, I think, or possibly St. Maxwell, one or two. To go back and watch it myself. I think it was Williams. Great clean strike of the ball, bottom of the net. St James's Park erupted. Sean Longstaff was on TNT Sports recently. He said the picture of him and Matty celebrating that goal was still his proudest moment in football. And we all thought at that particular time that we had a real player on our hands. You know, he was bossing in midfield with, I think, Pogba in it, and he couldn't get a sniff. You know, he rattled the bar before that goal. He was getting stuck in the tackles. He was spraying balls around, and you know, he looked like he was going to be a real player. Did Matty, but just a shocking bit of management by Steve Bruce, really, that just completely ruined his Newcastle career. In all fairness, you know, put him in a crowd stasis, wheeled him out every now and again against huge opposition like Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool. Played him in defensive midfield, even though he showed that prowess as an attacking midfielder. Total mismanagement, and I always wonder what would have happened if Matty Longstaff had been that Matty Longstaff at this football club when Eddie Howe arrived, what he would have turned this lad into. But sadly, it wasn't to be. Matty was loaned out to a few of the clubs. Aberdeen didn't really go very well with former Newcastle winger Stephen Glass. That seemed to be a bit of a problem. He come back, he went to Mansfield, had a good spell at Mansfield, I believe, got the playoff finals at Wembley, didn't make the grade on that one. They lost the game. Went to Colchester, done his knee, blew his knee out, and he's been in recovery for a long time. Now, what I loved about Eddie Howe in this particular moment was, even though Matty's contract was up, Eddie Howe made a point of saying that Newcastle was still going to look after the lad and support him back from his rehabilitation. And I think that was phenomenal by Eddie Howe. Real class by Eddie Howe to do that. I've said that before and I will say it again, to give Matty that recovery, to give him that rehabilitation, to get him back up to the speed he needed to be so he can go find a new football club. That's exactly what he's done. You know, he's no longer our player, and he hasn't been our player for a while, but listen, he's been at the club since he was a young lad. He seems like a top kid, you know, as does Sean, you know, and it's nice to see him get a new football club. And I really hope that he does well, because he's only 23 years old, Matty, still. He's got a whole career ahead of him. I mean, just looking at his stats there in terms of what he did for Newcastle United. I mean, he was, you know, 20 appearances in the first team and 3 goals. If you look at his under-18 record, 43 appearances, 5 goals, 5 assists. Under 23s, 34 appearances, 1 goal and 6 assists. He got 6 and 18 at Mansfield and 2 assists. The lad can play. There's no doubt about it. He's got a good touch on him. He's a bit of an industrious midfield. He's got a real crisp strike on him as well, and he's found a new home at Toronto FC over in the MLS. It'll be a big upheaval, a big change for him, a bit of a shift from Shields over to Toronto, but I'm sure he'll enjoy it, Matty. And it's a great experience for him, and he's going to play for John Herdman, who's a County Durham lad himself, former Sunderland Youth Academy manager, I believe. And this is what Toronto had to say about it. So they've signed Matty on a 2-year contract through 2025 with an option for 2026. And John has said he's thrilled to welcome Matty to our squad. His Premier League experience and dynamic playing style will add depth to our midfield and complement our tactical blueprint. So I'm buzzing for Matty. I really hope this works. I think there's a real player there. I really do. And I hope that he can get back to those levels that we saw against Manchester United in that game where he broke through. I think it's a travesty, a real shame what's happened to him. You know, you've only got to look at how good Louis Miley's been since he's come through and the chances that Eddie Howe has given. And I really wish that had happened to Matty as well, because I think he would have been a great player for Newcastle. But listen, that's football. Shit happens, unfortunately. Injuries happen. Bad managers can ruin your careers. And you know, hopefully for Matty, he's got a chance to press reset, go over to Toronto, do really, really well. And you never know, one day we might see him back in Premier League, maybe with Newcastle, maybe with somebody else. You know, we've seen the likes of Big Almiron from the MLS, you know, likes of Yedlin come from the MLS. There's other players who go to the MLS, build up a career, and then come back over to mainstream Europe. And maybe Matty can do that with this particular football club. So I say good luck to the lad. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about Matty's time at Newcastle? What do you think was the biggest issue? What do you think was the biggest reason that it didn't work out? Was it Bruce? Was it the injuries? Did Matty not do enough to show? We always like to hear from you in the comments below. But I wish him well. I'm sure you lot do as well as Newcastle fans. Go out there and smash it, Matty, son. Hope you have a really good spell out there. Thanks for what you did for the club when you were there, especially that game against Manchester United. I still enjoy watching that game back because he was brilliant in that game. It's just a shame that it didn't kick on from there. But let us know what you think in the comments. We always like to hear from you. Like and subscribe, all free content at Evermore. If you want to give a bit back to the channel, there is an option there as well. Stick around a bit longer, subscribe, come and join this great ever-growing community. Have a great day wherever you are, everybody, and enjoy Canada, Matty, son, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.